morning, everyone. Once again, another edition, this time episode 14 of the NewOaks AI Podcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Ray, nice to see you again. Still here in the U.S. How you doing out
Yes.
here? So,
Yes.
everything going well?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Right now, it's today I'm still in Orange County in Irvine, California.
Okay.
AI is going to be my last station in LA, and later tonight I'm going to flow over to the East Coast to
Gotcha.
Charlotte, North Carolina, and to meet Russ, and then fly to New York. Well, I'll depart from New York to back to China, and then come
That's
back
awesome.
again. Yep.
So he is going to get a chance to meet Mr. Ross McCamey, who's a good partner
Yes.
and friend of mine. So that'll
Correct.
be exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We do have Hilton Davidow in the crowd already this morning. And yes, it is episode 14 already. Hard to believe. I want to thank you, Hilton, for all the stuff and input you've been giving us, as well as, not only users, but as the podcast team out here trying to help everybody else understand the bot itself. And there was some talk going on about AI agents that we'll touch on later, Ray. But so you're in LA, you're looking to go East Coast here real soon. Where are you going to be in the East Coast again? Give us an idea where you're going to be at.
Well, just first we'll go to Charlotte and meet Russ, and then just talk to him about the digital business card and how I can help him to improve the automation in terms of the AI chatbot settings. And then fly over New York. I'll depart from JFK Airport in New York. During my stay in New York, hopefully I can meet Joe, one of our friends and influencers who made videos for us too. So
Joe's another one. That's awesome.
yeah.
I love it. And just to make note to everybody out there, Ray is on a weak Wi-Fi signal in the motel or hotel that he's in right now. So we are having a little bit of an issue with his connection. And if it does break away, just bear with us. We'll just hold the signal through. And if Ray, we're doing fine right now. It's just there's a slight delay in sync with your voice and what's coming through on the video. So I just want people to understand that's what's happening. But we're going to cover a few things here today, Ray. A lot going on in California before you got ready to leave. Governor Newsom's big veto. What was that all about?
Yeah, one of the news is that the security bill for AI that Governor Newsom, I think Gavin Newsom just beat, which is good because the Silicon Valley was against it, other than Elon was supporting that bill. So, but anyway, it's I think it's too early to in place regulation, right, on AI, so that all the AI company has to go through a lot of process before they publish the new version or the new feature. So I think that's a good thing to stop the early regulation on AI safety before the technology even mature. So
yeah, I think you got a good point, because how are we supposed to know what to really put in place if we're not really even certain of what it is we need to protect ourselves from yet?
Exactly. We do not know the AI yet, so we don't know what we're protecting us from.
Exactly. So there really shouldn't be a bill in play. Let the government worry about the government for a while and stop worrying about what we're doing in AI, right?
Yep. Yep.
But outside of that, go ahead, Ray. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, but I mean, the point is that we cannot be scared by our own hallucination before we are scared by the AI's hallucination, right?
I like that.
So yeah,
we'll use that going forward. I think is that don't fear your own hallucinations over those of the AI, right?
Yes, exactly. So as human beings, we have too much hallucination. So there's no point to complain that AI has hallucination. So AI just learn from us. Yeah,
I love it. Right. So OpenAI in the news again. I mean,
obviously, that's a big one.
That's like a big bowl of spaghetti right now with meatballs flying all over the place. It's just crazy.
Exactly. It's a big
What's going on in OpenAI?
Well, it's still in the fundraising process of the $6 billion funding with valuation of 150 billion, right? But I mean, the funding has not been closed, and yet the core leader and one of their core member, CTO Mira Murati, just announced a left, and with another two core members of the lineman team. Interestingly, Mira was also my schoolmate. He went to Dartmouth College for undergrad. I went there for MBA. I mean, and during remember last year in the turmoil of the leadership, right? ES, Cover, and the board just want to get Sam out of the
they wanted him out.
out of the management.
Fired him and rehired him in 3 days. Was it the same week they hired him back? Wasn't it?
Yeah, the officer was during a weekend, I remember correctly. And then Mira was very supportive to Sam during that period. So I really did not know what happened. It seems that there's something wrong with the leadership of OpenAI. I wouldn't say point finger to Sam, because my view, definitely, I mean, it's a big startup, right, in history. The second biggest startup in history, just next to SpaceX. And Sam is still very young. I mean, in his early 30s. Consider his age, I mean, with such big project to operate, I think he definitely needs something like Jobs, right? Steve Jobs was kicked out of the board and management by Apple. So I think it happens to all startups.
It seems that way. There's always a little bit of ruffled feathers when things start to explode on any new startup, because you've got money exchanging hands at a very fast pace. Exactly. And nobody really knows what direction the startup's going in at that stage, when you've got, investors dropping tens of millions of dollars at you to help you build your business. You've got to really start stepping up the game and put people into places that they need to be in. And if you don't do that right the first time, you got to go back and repop the popcorn, let's say, and do it again.
Exactly.
So that you can get it right. And that's just expected in business. We expect that.
Yeah.
So, but there's other things going on in the GPT world, let's say, over at OpenAI, and it starts tomorrow. What's that going on? Right?
Yeah. So the GPT-4o officially will be released for the August 6th version, which lowered down the input token, I think, by 60%,
50%, 60%, easy.
And in the output token by like something like 40%.
Yep.
Yeah, the cost. And then the use structure output, so which is good for all of us. The model is becoming more stable and more and cheaper in terms of the cost. So that's what I always told my customers, that don't worry about the cost yet. The cost is going to be driven down lower and lower, given time, because the competition, right, in cloud is catching up. So I'm really happy that 4o, the latest version of 4o is getting structured output, which make a lot of our work easier than it was before. So
do you see GPT, or let's say AI in general, becoming a utility in the end, like as a service that's going to be a necessity outside of electricity and heat and water? Are we going to need a permanent AI line in our life going forward? Do you think that's going to be the case?
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of see it too, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I will see that AI is going to become infrastructure or utility, just like internet, right? Internet is our utility already. So whenever you pay the house bill, there always a bill said your internet cost is like $20, $30 a month, something like that. So in the future, when we pay our household bill, it will be like your AI cost is like $20, $30 per month.
That's what I'm thinking. That's how I see it.
So, it's part of our life. Yeah.
I already pay $200 a month for AI. It seems just buying software nowadays. No, I mean, every month I'm spending money on AI software in some way or another to learn it, understand it, break it down, reverse engineer it, whatever we're doing with it. There's all these things going on. So it's not like we're not spending hundreds of dollars a month right now, as it is building AI infrastructures. And as individual users is what I'm saying, building our own bots, building our own personal KBs, building all these different things that we need for our own businesses. So
so the way I see it is that AI is literally the cost of energy. So this era, previously we used energy to boost cars or vehicles, right, or locomotive. But in this AI era, so I think the beauty is that we are able to convert energy into intelligence. So I would say the cost of AI is really the cost of energy to like use GPU to do the prompting and stuff. It was yesterday when I was talking to Matt, who is one of our customers. We were talking about, he was talking about, there was an article saying that for one prompt to work, the consumption of it is going to consume like 5 to 10 bottles of waters
I
just
saw
for
that.
one
Yeah, I saw
time to
that.
work. Yeah. So it literally is the consumption of the energy, and he was worrying about the energy is whether energy is if is sufficient efficient. I mean, so is enough, right, on
Is
the
enough
earth to
sufficient? Yeah, it's
support the
sufficient. Sure.
sufficient, yeah, to support the AI. But I think both Elon Musk and Sam was working on that. There's another I mean post that Elon Musk was posting that, so if he has the power to use the area of the state such as New
Hmm.
Mexico or
Hmm.
Texas, right, for solar panel, the
Hmm.
power is enough for the whole nation, I mean America, to use.
Yeah, he said like 50
Yeah,
gigawatts or something like
something
that
like that.
from
I don't
a
have the
single
exact.
farm. One single farm would cover everything we need instead of all these little, you know, fragmented pieces of solar farms, which we have right down the road. We have several
Oh,
of them. And I'll tell you something about solar farms that is
yeah.
very non-beneficial around here, and it's
Okay.
because the farmers scream. They hate them. The farmers hate them because it takes up all their cropland, the stuff that they
Right.
could be planting food on, instead
Yeah.
of watching the temperatures rise in
Uh-huh.
those areas, causing much more severe either drought conditions or
Right.
heavy rainfall conditions. And
Right.
then you have a huge electric grid laying out in a full field of water. So you got
Wow.
to consider the elements here. And a lot of people didn't when they thought about solar panels. Now, put them on the roof of a house. I think that's a perfect place to put solar panels.
Yep.
It's already real estate that's being used, and there's no impact to the
Yep.
space.
Yep.
It may generate a little bit of heat around the homes, but
Yep.
I think it's more sufficient, it's more economical, and it's more practical. And I don't know why we're not doing it more. So
Yeah. But putting all the solar panel into a huge farm, I mean, in the aggregated place, I think
mhm.
that's more efficient, just spread
Yes,
all over the
I
place,
agree.
right?
I
So
agree.
I think that's
I
what
agree.
Elon means.
And I hope he pulls it off. He has a way of pulling off some of the impossible. And if he
Yep.
could find a way to answer that problem, that pain point that everybody has with AI, because obviously it is generating a lot of energy. But I love the way
Sure.
you say that we're turning energy
Mhm.
into intelligence
Intelligence. Yeah.
and knowledge. And, just in the end, it's all about the wisdom of our society that will
Exactly.
be impacted the most by this. So very
Exactly.
cool stuff. All
Yep.
right. So you met Matt in Orange County. How'd that go?
Yeah, it went well. It has since last December, I think, we published the news and we had a demo meeting. And this time, so when I came here, so finally we have been scheduling for the meeting for like 2 weeks almost
Oh,
because
cool.
we got some COVID positive tests. So,
Mhm. That
so
happens still.
but fortunately, right before I leave LA, we managed to meet with each other and we had a very good talk. He's an expert. He's an expert in automation too, just like
Mhm.
Ross, right? And he's
Yeah.
also doing his ICO service business, which is very, very, very well.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were talking about, but obviously he has not followed up with a lot of features that we published.
Yeah.
So I showed him, our latest features about digital business card, URL to video, and a
Got a
lot
lot.
of ones integration with Go High Level. So we talk about a lot. We talk a lot about Go High Level. He's automation guy. He knows the
Mhm.
inside out of the how to use Go High Level to integrate with other tools like NewOaks AI chatbot or SMS,
Mhm.
appointment booking tools. So I was we were discussing that after our integration with Go High Level, he may be able to utilize that to create value for his potential customers. So
Oh, I'm sure. Now, did you ask Matt how he liked the AI out of New Oaks versus what was happening at GHL? Because they do have their own little
oh yeah,
chat bot widget, AI widget that they've created, but there's been a lot of complaints over there. And I'm not trying to
yeah,
knock people, but I like to let people stay informed.
yeah,
If somebody's
yeah,
complaining about a feature that doesn't work
yeah,
right, then I
Yeah.
want people to know about it before they go spending big money to buy it. So
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
case, it just seems like GHL may have stepped up on the step a little too soon and wasn't quite
Yeah.
ready for the product development that they had to go forward. But
Uh-huh.
um,
I think.
what Ray's done is incorporated that. So
Yeah, yeah, it's a good topic to talk about. Because not only GHL go high level, other big tech companies like HubSpot or Salesforce, they all want to launch their own AI chatbot. But just like Go High Level, it's a big platform. I mean, their system is already complicated, right? So build a chatbot on top of the already overcomplicated system is going to create other problems that you would never have thought about. So the onboarding experience will definitely be not as easy, and also the chat quality and integration with um, other tools will not be as smooth or seamless as NewOaks AI is. So I think definitely we have an advantage edge, I mean competitive edge in terms of we are still small and we can build things fast so that our chat quality and the user experience is definitely better than Go High Level, because I think they have been in place. The system is too big and they have long history, right?
yeah.
Having
And I use the term coddled. It's like it's been
yeah,
coddled, or let's
yeah,
just say it's another cog that was put into the system that can
exactly.
cause problem. I mean, every time a system that's built on multiple components
Yep,
adds a component into that mix, it can cause problems with other components. And that's usually what happens if it's not
exactly.
sandboxed properly. So always the case. We always hope that when we're building advanced feature sets like this, and we even had one of the users, Ray, talking about creating a type bot connection with NewOaks, where
Yeah,
they were having a little bit of issue, but they
yeah,
figured it out. It was
yeah.
just about the crosstalk going back and forth. So we've been able to have bots, at least NewOaks bot, communicate with other AI bots and be
Oh,
able to almost,
right.
we could start a conversation flow with them. And we've done that with chat agents before, where
Uh-huh.
we sit two chat agents down and just let them talk to each other and figure out a problem to or
Uh-huh.
solution to a problem. And they
Yeah,
do pretty well. So if we
yeah.
can do that as a chatbot, it would help. So let's talk then about what the mission's always been the same, Ray. We'll just keep reaffirming it. We're here to automate and bring AI automations to businesses and improve customer experience. It's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
We want it to be a free flow. You want to emphasize on anything on how AI can transform a business, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I think with latest updates on not only GPT-4o but on o1, the strawberry model release, I think the AI agent, I mean workflow, right? Agentic workflow is going to create more value, make the whole automation process much easier. Because as we talked about before, o1 is used train of thought, right? It's slower than GPT-4o, but it's much stronger in terms of reasoning, like like doing some math problem or coding problems is, I mean, behaves much better than 4o. So
Yeah.
in terms of that, I mean, o1 is only the pioneer model, right? For OpenAI, I think Cloud or Gemini is going to catch up with their o1.
Probably.
So with the competition, I think the automation is going to be realized. I mean, the full automation with very little, even zero human interference is going to come into place really soon. Another example is that we recently when I'm in Irvine, I'm working with another real estate client and just help her to streamline the process of appointment booking through Google Voice. So the performance, the advancements with the performance was really amazing for her. She already made a decision to not use the human support, human VA,
Oh, okay.
virtual assistant anymore,
Gotcha.
right? Yeah, just she thought AI could almost 100% replace the her VA in some area. I'm not saying
Yeah,
in all the
I
process.
would agree
So,
with that. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. It's a matter of where it's applied. It's not
yeah,
we're not trying to replace people. We want to
no,
help those that are working under us become better at what they do. That's
Yes.
all. We want to give them the tools to succeed at a
Right.
process that they have to do manually
Yeah.
and regularly,
Hmm.
repetitively, and it gets boring. I quit an entire, let's just call it a lifestyle. I was a civil engineering tech that was
Yeah.
building in CAD for years, and it got to be the point where everything was so mundane and
Yeah.
routine and all the
Yeah.
time the same
Yeah.
thing. It got boring to me, and I had to leave. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I
I'm
need something
sure.
more creative in my life. So you
Yep.
mentioned Google Voice real quick, Ray. Let's just move on to some of the feature sets that are taking place. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. I know you're advancing the code to a point where you want to clean it up. And
Yeah.
that's what happens as you add features to any kind of program code, you continue to compile and you
Yeah.
add on. And then what ends
Right.
up happening is you realize some of the assembly needs to be reconfigured. And
Right.
you then perform better processes by
Mhm.
making more succinct travel paths for your code to take is really what it comes down to. So Google had a lot of effect on the system lately with some of its OAuth regulations, you might say, that they've dropped on everybody recently, making kind of login and password obsolete now, isn't it, Ray? It's kind of gone away.
Yeah.
What's going on with Google Voice now?
Yeah. So the Google OAuth, yeah, they changed some part of their process. So we just to follow up with that and recreate the whole authorization and integration process so that Google Voice, the process to integrate with Google Voice is much easier with not the alert or warning and
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, and but the so we send out a notification to all of our users and they have to go through the whole process if they are still using Google Voice, right, to engage with customers and make appointments. But once they have done the integration process again,
Mhm.
it's going to be much better than it was before.
So they don't have to, I mean, it's already, I noticed in the back of my account, which I'll be going through, and I have produced some videos for Ray on the effect of
Okay,
some of the
nice.
newer features that are out. When it comes to Google Voice, I'm going to show you guys how to reconnect your accounts to Google Voice this afternoon so that you'll be able to see exactly what effect it had. On mine, it just disconnected everything.
Yes.
So you may see when you go to your account that you're not connected to Google anymore. You just have to go back through the OAuth process to do so. So, all right, cool. Tell us a little bit about the code optimization, though, Ray, for the techie guys out there that like to
Yeah.
hear this stuff. Not everybody knows anything about code, but
Right. It's
for the coders, tell us what you're really doing back there.
Yeah, so what we have done is that because we have added a lot of features, so the code has become more like cuddled as describe it. And and the drawback is that whenever so it's slowing down the new features that we're trying to add or slowing down the debugging process. So for any bug or any new features we want to change the code, it's going to take much longer. So therefore, we decided to pay the technical debt, right, which is to
Mm-hmm.
optimize the code again. So we have done it almost for a month. You probably noticed that the speed of updating feature has been slower
Mm-hmm.
compared with what we have done before. That's because we're doing the code optimization. So after cleanup and the optimization of the code, the speed of adding new features will be much faster than it was before, so that we'll keep up with our speed of iteration of publishing new features or fixing bugs and be more responsive to our existing customers or prospective customers.
Got it. I love
Yeah,
it. And that's really one of the big benefits I see is having a good team in place, right? There's
yeah,
so much code out there that I witness on a daily basis. And we still see, Ray offered a lifetime deal a while back
yeah,
for people that wanted to get in and on board. And we were there as pre-launch people to help Ray develop the product. I
yeah,
see people do this all the time and then shut down a year later, literally,
yeah,
because either their code never gets optimized and the
yeah,
product never functions properly,
yeah,
or they never really anticipated what they were going to have to do
yeah,
to coddle that code together. And when I say coddle, it's an overprotective thing that I say to that, because what that means, you can coddle a child or
yeah,
you can coddle your code because
yeah.
you're
Right.
playing with something that is a living organism in a sense. It has to run, it has to operate, and it has to work. And if it, has these little hiccups throughout its sections, you've got to fix that. And it's no
Yeah,
different than, but you don't want to coddle this thing that you have and try to keep it running just because you think your code's good and you don't want to change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you're coddling a struggling product, and you don't want to do that. So
Right. So we don't want to become another big company, right? To slow down its performance and be like lag behind in terms of technology. So
yeah, we don't want it lagging for sure.
yeah.
So WhatsApp integration guide. We've got an update on that. It sounds like you had somebody put together. Did you do that yourself? I suspect.
Right. I did that to myself, and the
Okay.
developer just published online.
All right.
So
Perfect. We'll
yeah.
find that. Is that on the NewOaks YouTube channel? Did you put one in the YouTube channel, or is it just a
No,
guidebook
no,
on the
no.
page?
It's that just in within the. No, I didn't put on the YouTube. It's just a paper. I mean, instructions.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So we
Yeah,
can find that on the website itself. All
yeah.
right.
It's
Perfect.
on the website.
And then we have the Google Voice appointments for real estate agents. You want to tell us about that, right?
Yeah. So we have been using the upper GPT-4o release, and we have much better way to make appointment booking on SMS channel for Google Voice and also Twitter. So during my trip in OC, Orange County, so I was just meeting with my real estate customers, and she is having a couple properties that manage it, and we talk about the latest technology update, and we decided that now the AI, the chatbot can replace about 80% of the job for the virtual assistant, just to make the whole process from inquiry about the properties, and also pre-screening of the qualification of tenants if it wants to rent a house, and eventually until like the house viewing, right? By making appointments and even sending the combo code for the smart lock of the property. So the whole process, we aim to make the whole process with no human interference. And then even further, we reprompt the whole appointment booking on Google Voice so that chatbot is going to be able to follow up with the customer if the customer did not schedule appointments right after the query, right? Or after the customer has scheduled appointment and also went to check the property in person, but did not follow up with closing the deal or signing out the contract. So we make kind of a sequence of following up in term on the Google Voice channel, just to like replace the repetitive task that the virtual assistant otherwise has to do every single day. That way we can release the VA from those more repetitive tasks and to handle like more complicated tasks, right?
So that's just using Google Voice to send an SMS reminder or follow up. So, or is it also email follow up and things of that nature too? Both? Oh,
yeah, we're going to do both. So the idea is that we are also integrating with a system with AppFolio. I'm not sure are you familiar with AppFolio?
I am. Yep,
yeah, it's a property management software that a lot of like real estate agents use for manage their property, right? So we do the integration with AppFolio so that we can also grab data, the leads or the follow-up emails from AppFolio to create a follow-up sequence on Google Voice, kind of streamline the whole process just for real estate. So I want to make that is as a showcase demo for real estate agent to engage customers, appointment booking, and follow up. Not only appointment booking, but follow up on multiple channels, emails, and also SMS, and maybe in the future voice, right? With the help of voice AI. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm familiar with AppFolio only from the respect that my son-in-law is actually a commercial real estate broker, and so is the podcast host on my podcast this evening. So they both, I believe, apply AppFolio to some extent. So I'll have to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
So just to recap, Ray, to cover what we've gone through, a lot of updates with Google Voice. So make sure you go out and reauthorize your accounts through NewOaks. That includes your calendar as well. So don't forget, you will have to reconnect Google Voice and your Google Calendar to make sure it's optimized and running properly with NewOaks. a lot of code optimization going on. You should see improved speed and improved clarity, even with the way that the bot is responding as we continue to update code over at NewOaks. And when I say we, that's Ray and his team. The WhatsApp integration guide is now available on the website. So head over to the guide section under the menu and you'll find the guide for the WhatsApp integration, which I will also do a video for this week. And mentioning that I did say I'd have videos last week, we will have those coming out starting tomorrow. Google Voice appointments for real estate agents is another way to automate a whole sequence, a flow, so that you don't have to really step in on any of that and let the Google take over. And integrations with AppFolio. So we summarize what's going on over at OpenAI. Can't wait to find out what happens next. And with Governor Newsom's veto on an AI safety bill, hopefully they'll leave us alone for a little while until we figure out the actual dangers that we may encounter with AI. Ray, you want to put them into action? Tell them what else. Do you have any more interviews left to do? I think you still need to give me a call.
Still need, I still have like 3 to 4 interviews to do. So cool. Anyone who's want to talk to me about your service, your product, how you can use NewOaks AI chatbot, feel free to make an appointment with me either through the chat bubble on NewOaks, www.newoaks.ai, or send me email at support@newoaks.ai.
Sounds good. I don't know how many people still use www when they type the web address.
Oh, not many, but still, they use it.
I don't. Yeah, you got to use it. It's a requirement. So I want to thank Hilton and Anil for coming out to the live broadcast today and hanging out with us. Sorry I didn't mention Anil did have a comment. He says, "What are y'all doing up so early in the morning?" Yeah, it is kind of like that. Something. Got to get to work, get the job done, right, Ray?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks everybody for stopping by the NewOaks AI podcast today. Boy, join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. where Ray and I sit down and talk about some of the AI trends in the world and what's happening out here at NewOaks. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care, Ray. Have a great day.
See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
See you around. Take it easy.